Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with a Total War Warhammer video. Today we'll be continuing our mod highlight series, where today we'll be covering LOW, Legion of Myrmidia. A rather small mod in all honesty, it's actually just a unit pack, but in my opinion a rather important one. You see, Legion of Myrmidia adds in the units of the Cult of Myrmidia to the major Empire playable factions. Why is this important, you may ask? You see, the Empire itself has a multitude of different gods, and right now it seems that we can only feel the Sigmarite side of things. Of course, there are some units and little hints towards the other deities, but the main thing is Sigmar, Sigmar and Sigmar. Whereas in Imperial culture, different regions would worship different gods. Some regions within the Empire would even worship other gods in a much higher respect than they would Sigmar himself. It's likely that eventually we'll get a DLC focusing around the god Ulrich, but it's very unlikely that we'll see more units being implemented for other gods, for example the units of the Cult of Myrmidia, the Cult of Mor, and so on. So obviously those who prefer more thematic campaigns and prefer other gods will have to rely on modders, thankfully. But with that all said, let's not waste any more time and jump right in. Now, as explained before, this is a unit pack, so don't expect major changes. The changes will only become apparent as soon as you open up your construction tab, where you will have access to 2 new buildings. These buildings are the way that you'll be able to recruit the new soldiers and new unique hero added in through this mod. A level 2 building and a level 3 building respectively, so it's not like you're gonna have to wait a long time to be able to recruit them. The main building, which will provide the majority of your forces, the rally field, will act like a 3-tier barracks. It's just that the units themselves are a bit stronger than the generic Imperials. Whereas the second building, the Shrine of Mermidia, another building which has 3 tiers, will act as your way to recruit elite units and your new hero. Now, it also is important to note that this is a shrine building, so it will act the same as the Sigmarite Shrine, providing not only hero capacity and the ability to unlock recruitment, but also provide an untainted bonus of +6, and it will ascend as you reach through the ranks of this building. So you won't really need to build another one should you want some untainted bonus. You can recruit this hero from the same tabs as you can warrior priests, and it may take a while to do so depending on how quickly you can grow your settlements. Now, for all intents and purposes, this character should be treated as a warrior priest. Her stats are pretty decent, generally the same as a bog standard warrior priest, where the majority of her skills will serve to improve her in combat more than anything else. However, she does have access to 4 mounts, a warhorse, a barbed warhorse, a great eagle, and an imperial griffin. So you have a few different mount options to fit your playstyle. She will also get access to bound spells, in the form of 4 different unique spells: the Spear of Myrmidia, the Blessing of Myrmidia, Shield of Myrmidia, and Command the Legion. So, how these work is exactly the same way as what you can expect from a warrior priest. It's translated rather well and focuses on more of a thematic approach, where you're able to have a support hero join up with your armies and lead the forces as they should. It would have been nice to also have the ability to wield a bow, but then again it makes sense for a warrior priestess to be at the front lines. Now, we'll pan over every single unit uniquely added through this mod and just check out their stats. As we do so, I'll give my general thoughts regarding the units and the mod itself. LOW, Legions of Myrmidia, is one of those mods I deem essential, especially if you are an Empire player. It's very important to note once again that Sigmar, whilst being the main god of the Empire, he is not the only one. And I've always found that disappointing, not as a Total War fan, but more as a fan of the lore. The Empire has an absolutely massive pantheon of gods, some more popular than others of course, but I feel like more representation from these gods would always be rather welcome by the Total War Warhammer fans and the fans of the lore in general. Now with that being said, let's actually look towards the units themselves. There is a large variety of units added in through this mod. A smart use of mixing assets from both the Empire and Bretonnia. It makes the units stand out a lot more, especially with the yellow and black color scheme that they have. A few of the units themselves do look rather samey of course, but then there's others that do stand out and look visually impressive. It is important to take into account that of course there was no complete army for Myrmidia, so the modder himself or herself has had to work from artistic interpretation, and I think it was done rather well. The cult of Myrmidia feels like its own sub-faction, it feels like it's a proper army, a legion following the goddess of war. This is a legion of heavily armored warriors, so you're going to be at a very strong advantage as soon as you're able to recruit them. Even the basic units from the first tier of its building tree can be a little bit overtuned in terms of stats. All I'd say personally is maybe a slight reduction in terms of stats for the first and second tier units would be perfectly fine and a lot more balanced. I'm not saying take them down to state trooper level, but not so far that they are overwhelming everyone very early on in your campaign. The addition of the trebuchet and the ballista is rather nice too. If you want to go with the whole Myrmidia theme, you won't be fielding a lot of faith, steel and gunpowder, just faith and steel. So if you want to have thematic armies, you can actually have a different style of play within the same faction. Now as always, if you want to try out this mod, you can find a direct link to it in the description below. And as always, if you know of any mods that you'd like to suggest to maybe be covered on the channel, you can suggest one in the comments below. Or might I suggest joining the official Great Book of Grudges Discord, where it's much easier to get in contact with me. You can also find the link to that in the description below. But with that my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons, your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VSVasan, Aaron Whitman and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel has been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very soon. Have a good day.